guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on week 3 waiver wire ads. And listen, guys, today I got a more deep in detail type breakdown. I got more guys on this list than I had earlier today. So make sure you flood the comment section and let me know what you want to talk about. If you got any questions about who you should pick up. What's going on, RG? What's going on with you today, bruh?
Not too much, just chilling, man. Not too busy today. What's going on?
Not much, bruh. Just getting ready for waivers. Get ready to start on these waivers. How you feel about week 3 waivers?
Um, I feel like they're still on the slimmer side. Not too many injuries going on, just a couple, but got to work with it.
Right. Are you surprised about anything this year in fantasy?
Um, teams aren't doing too good right now, but I mean it's still very early, so
Right. Right. Yeah, man. To me, I'm about staying the course. Nothing's really surprised me majorly, but I think we just have to stay the course. I think everything works itself out, but it does in quadrants. Everything is not going to happen every week for you.
yep.
And every 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes you got to wait 3 to 4 weeks for a player to get going. I remember CD Lamb a couple years ago. He struggled kind of the first 4 weeks, and then he ended up being a wide receiver one, averaging like 28 points a game.
Yep.
So I just want people to stay patient. What's going on, Big Will? I see you. What's going on, DeAndre Swift? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so I
Any
would say
news you
let's
want?
go ahead.
I was
Huh?
gonna say, any news you want to talk about?
No, nothing in particular. Well, I guess I would say, yeah, the Joe Burrow injury. If you got Jamar Chase, I think you should be feel better about Jamar Chase with the Joe Burrow injury. You might say, "What? That's crazy, TD." Check this out. Jake Browning is not going in the game and targeting Jamar Chase less than 6 or 7 times. Not He's not doing it because he don't want to get cussed out. He know if he lose and he target Jamar Chase, he's fine. He's going to be okay. But then he go out there and target a bunch of these other guys and give Jamar Chase 4 or 5 targets. It's going to be bad. So I think Jamar Chase is going to be going bonkers.
He had a good
He's
game
going to
last game.
he's going to go, and you go back and look at Jake Brown and look at his breakdown and what he did when he started a whole game. He's been pretty good for fantasy, not great in real life, but for fantasy he's been really good. So I want people, you should feel good about this with Jamar Chase, and it's this is going to be a hyper target thing. And this is another reason why I didn't want to draft Jamar Chase, because I know Joe Burrow is volatile. And I don't think this injury has anything to do. I think this is just a crazy injury. But I mean, if Jake Browning doesn't do what I'm saying, I think he's going to do. I mean, it could be terrible for Jamar Chase on him. So why would you draft a guy that's dependent on somebody so much? I love wide receivers in the first round, but I got to make sure that no matter what happens to your quarterback, that you're going to go out there and be able to get alpha targets and honey targets, and not just going out there for 6 targets. And now I drafted this guy number 1 overall, and he's not going to be able to bring back value. That's another thing that we have to consider from year to year. I see you, Dean James Talley. I see you, Big Will. Yes, sir, Cameron Austin. Okay. Let me see. Was there anything else that you think happened in the news that we need to talk about?
Um, Aaron Jones just went on IR.
Yes. Mason. And Todd Chandler may get a few carries. So if you want to stash Todd Chandler in a deep league, you can. But Mason's going to eat. He's going to get all the goal line touches. And this is why they brought in Frank Mason. Aaron Jones cannot stay healthy for if his life depended on it. So Frank Mason is about to eat. If you have him, you can flip him right now. I think this would be a really good time to flip him, because I don't know what Carson Wentz is going to do with the JJ. And that's another thing I was talking about, the JJ McCarthy injury. I didn't want no part of Justin Jefferson this year. This is another reason why. Not saying I knew about this. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just don't like these dependent, big time alpha guys depending on a quarterback to get them the ball. I like him at a certain value. But yes, guys. JJ McCarthy, that injury, I think it brings down that whole team. Other than Mason, he's gonna get a lot of carries. But if you want to flip him for a level up to another running back or a wide receiver, especially a wide receiver, I think you could do it. I really think you could do it with Mason getting all the workload. Let me see. There was Mason. There was JJ McCarthy. Justin. We talked about Justin Jefferson. Anything else?
Um, I mean, besides Eckler being out for the season, but we already knew that he's probably
Yeah,
done.
Eckler's gonna be out for the season. Ja'Cory, lower your expectations. Let him play in the flex and let him evolve like a Pokemon. Don't be all over top of him. Oh my God, I need you to do 20. I need you to do 20 because it might not happen. Just put him in the flex if you got him and let him evolve. If you have Ja'Cory Cross get married. Okay. So I got 4 quarterbacks that I want to talk about. I'm gonna go through them. I'm kind of fast. I'm not gonna go and break them all down, but there's a couple guys that I really want to get on. But my first quarterback that I want to talk about is going to be Russell, last name Wilson. Russell, last name Wilson, and the reason why I like Russell, last name Wilson, I think he has big play, a lot of points upside scoring. This is why I talked about Russell Wilson in the offseason. He's throwing them elite neighbors. So in fantasy, that's really good. In real life, no, it's not good. It's a one-trick pony. But in fantasy, you have to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. So that's going to be a lot of deep balls. I would say Russell Wilson's superpower would be his deep ball. And he also has other speed players on his team, like Hyatt, who's not even really playing a lot. And you got Rondell Robinson, who is a waiver wire type pickup guy this week because of what he did. And you know he's been getting a safe amount on targets. I think he done got like 17, 18 targets the last couple weeks for Rondell Robinson. So Russell, guys, I think got some upside. I'm actually telling people to consider playing him, but know what you're getting. Guys, it's like, and this is like, y'all know I always do my dating comparisons as far as metaphors out here for quarterbacks, guys, it's the picking of the litter. What do you like and what type of lady do you like? Do you like ladies with you like smart ladies? You like dark tone ladies? You like white tone ladies? What kind of ladies do you like? Because Russell Wilson is not the same type of quarterback as a Matt Jones, right? So Matt Jones is gonna give you a safe floor. So that's another guy that's on my quarterback list is Matt Jones. He gives you a safe floor. He's going to go out there to go throw about 2 touchdowns, give you about 16, 17, 20 points in standard scoring. But Russell can go for 30 or 40, but he also can go for 10. So to me, depending on what type of team I'm playing, I don't mind playing a Russell Wilson to give me some upside and big plays connecting with Malik Neighbors. But if I got a really good team and I got stud running backs and I'm good, I got good wide receivers too, then I'm going with Matt Jones to keep it kind of safe. Give me don't throw a bunch of picks, that type. And then I'm gonna move on to Jake Browning. Jake Browning to me is another guy kind of like Russell Wilson. He's going to be chucking the ball down the field. So if you play in a league where interceptions is bad, I wouldn't play Jake Browning. But if you play in a league where the more touchdowns and the more yards you have, and interceptions is not going to hurt that value, then I will go with Jake Browning. So again, guys, I told you there's a lot of quarterbacks out here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you which one is going to score more because I think all these guys can have good weeks for you going forward. I think Russell could give you some upside. Um, I think Matt Jones gonna give you a safe floor until Brock Purdy comes back. I think Jake Browning can give you a boom game, then he could give you a dud, like a 3 or 4 point game, and then he could go for 30 or 40 points. And my next guy, which is I think another level guy, but it even might be an uptick from Matt Jones, is Matthew Stafford. Is Matthew Stafford. So I like Matthew Stafford. I think he's safe. I think he's hyper targeting 2 really efficient wide receivers, but I'm not going to depend on him to throw 3 or 4 touchdowns every week because he has Kyron with in which they gonna get Kyron the ball when they get down there most of the time. Kyron hasn't really got going, but that's coming soon. So Russell, last name Wilson, with the upside. Matt Jones, safe. You must have forgot Matt Jones. Jake Browning, who's gonna be throwing it up and down the field, but can give you a 3 or 4 point game. And you got Matthew Stafford, who ain't gonna probably go below 14 or 15 points, and probably ain't gonna go more than 20 points. So y'all, the picking of the litter is yours. The power is yours. What do you feel? You got any guys different than this list?
So
RG?
the only person I would add is Daniel Jones.
He's on waivers.
Yeah, I would say in a lot
That's
of
why
waivers.
that's why I got you on here, bro. I don't that don't compute for my mind because if Daniel Jones out there, guys, you have to go get him. That's he's the best quarterback out of all those guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And y'all league guys, after week 1, if anybody had a struggling quarterback, I would have went and picked up Daniel Jones to push my guy, like struggling quarterbacks, not no Joe Burrow. I wouldn't have had him backing up Joe Burrow, but I'd have had him backing up guys like Drake May, Bryce Young,
Dak.
um, Dak. Yeah, there's a couple guys I already had him out there backing up. So if he's out there, guys, go get Daniel Jones. And listen, actually, I don't want to talk about Daniel Jones. So thank you, RG. I'm not gonna sit here and sell anybody on Daniel Jones. I said I was done with that. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you
You've
for
been on.
bringing it up. I'll let RG say you on Daniel Jones. Go ahead, RG.
I mean, he's looking good right now. He's got a line to protect him. He's still got an elite RB in Jonathan Taylor. He's got Pittman Downs. He's got a deep threat with Pierce if he really wants it. AD Mitchell's playing. He's never had weapons like this before in a line that can protect him. I mean, it's not the
Come on
greatest,
now.
but it's better than what he had at the Giants.
Come on now. Come on now. Right. Okay. You got anybody else, RG? Quarterbacks?
Someone in the comments just said Anthony Richardson went to the Bengals. Not too sure if that's true or not, but that'd be interesting.
Was it one of the members?
Um, Philly Mike OG.
Okay. Oh yeah, he been here before. He said Bengals just got Anthony Richardson. Wow. That's kind. So let's talk about that real quick. How do you feel about that,
I
RG?
mean, that would be like the third or fourth quarterback they brought in today. So I think they're just trying to figure out who's going to be the best fit. I know they brought in Mike White and somebody else too. Forgot who. Nobody important really, but AR and Jake Browning might be a good quarterback competition.
Mm. But I just don't see them being able to trust. You got a player like Jamar Chase, and you think Anthony Richardson is going to tolerate that? You'd be better off with Jake Browning and getting you back up like Mike White. What do you, what you think? Listen, if you want to use Anthony Richardson for packages, that's fine. But if you think that to bring him in and then he be a backup for Joe Burrow, once Joe Burrow come up going forward with his career, what is that going to do? Like, I don't even think that's a good quarterback school place. The quarterback school places are right now. It's been Minnesota. It's been. It ain't been the Bengals.
Yeah,
So I don't
definitely
get that. I
not.
think. Yeah, I don't.
I
I just don't think that's a good place for him to go.
I mean, it's probably not the best for him specifically. I think they're just trying to throw anything at a wall and see what sticks. Now that Joe Burrow's
He's,
out, so
he said it's fake news. Somebody just said it's fake news, so we're gonna move on.
okay.
Usually Philly Mike is pretty good with that. He's not a guy. I know Philly Mike. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Fantasy Network. Appreciate that. Okay. And, anybody else?
Not that I can think of. I don't think Drake May is
Okay.
going to be on waivers, but if yeah, I'd pick him up if he is.
Right. That's another guy that's hit, man. My 70% hit video has been pretty good this year, especially with Troy Franklin coming into a breakout. That's another one of my sleepers. So, all
Yeah, you were
right,
on him
let's move on
last
to
week.
who?
You Troy Franklin. I said Marvin Mims. So
Yeah, right. But Marvin's going to be fine too.
mm,
This team, but you're not going to be able to count on Marvin. In
no,
my league, and you play in with the kick return, punt return, that might help where you can start him. Yep. But let's go to a running back. So listen, man, my
okay,
running back list is thin.
mine too.
It's thick, yeah, because it shouldn't be a lot of running backs out there. But one of my top 5 running backs that I talked about this year, over Ashton Genty, was Bayshore Tootin. Now, listen, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say that Bayshore Tootin is a better player individually than Ashton Genty. But football and fantasy doesn't work that way. It's not all about who is the best player. It's situational, it's opportunities, it's coaching, it's all of it together. So when you talk about all of it together, Bayshore Tootin, I didn't think it was a good role for him to, I liked him watching his film over Genty. Knowing I know Genty is a good player, but I like Bayshore Tootin because of his speed. I know that's big in the NFL. But then he went there when they had 2 or 3 running backs. I'm like, ah,
I
it's
agree.
probably over for him. But we was thinking ETN was gonna get traded, and they let ETN and Tank Bigsby fight it out. And within 2 months, he beat out Tank Bigsby. Where we all thought Tank Bigsby was a better running back than Travis Etienne. So they went with Travis Etienne. Now Tootin is going to be playing that Tank Bigsby role, which is a gold line honey touch role. Travis Etienne is going to get his the way he plays the game. He's going to catch passes. He's going to make big plays. He don't need honey touches. It's very few players that I'm willing to draft at a certain level that doesn't get honey touches, and Travis Etienne is one of those guys. But Tootin is going to be getting those honey touches. my number one running back this week that I think you should go and spend. And as I say, I'm gonna give you a percentage. So I'm gonna give you two percentages. I'm gonna give you $100. I'm giving you $200, which is basically the same thing. So if you're in a $100 league, I would spend $25 to get Basial Tootin. And when you do, you have to hold them for the whole season.
Have to.
You don't pick these guys up and wait 2 or 3 weeks and then drop them, because you know what you're doing? You're basically throwing away your groceries that you put in the freezer. You can buy groceries and you can put it in the freezer and it can stay in there for 6 months. It's okay. It's okay. So when you get Tootin, you have to put them in the freezer. You cannot drop them for the rest of the season. And if you don't want to do that, don't pick them up. Another guy, Quinshawn. I don't know if he's out there. He shouldn't be, but I told y'all I made a trade video week 1 and told you to go get Quinshawn Judkins. Sampson, it's all. I'm not playing Sampson. I think in a PPR league, I might play him. Maybe he gets a touchdown. Just because you get a touchdown don't mean I'm gonna play you next week in fantasy when you get this touchdown out of the blue moon, right? I don't see no rhyme and reason or pattern or common denominator to say that you're gonna score. So Crenshaw is the goal line back. He's the bigger guy. He's 230 pounds. He runs hard. He's the guy who's gonna be in the goal line touches. So Crenshaw is the guy that I want to get. Also going on that Cleveland team, start stashing Shadur Sanders and what's the other guy name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Start stashing these guys. Me, I'm skipping over Dylan and going straight to Shadur because I got good quarterbacks in my league, and I feel like Shadur could start maybe the last 5 or 6 games of the season. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel could go in there and kill it, and maybe Shadur doesn't get an opportunity. But if Dylan Gabriel doesn't kill it, and they don't give Shadur Sanders an opportunity, they will pitchfork in Cleveland. So I like to stash Shadur Sanders. And last running back is just a dart. What's going on, Frizz? What's going on, B Growing? Father of 3, Paola, Jawan Allen, Big Will. But it's going to be Chris Rodriguez, and this is just a dart throw. Just the guy might get activated. Just somebody for me to talk about. So who you want to talk about? Who anybody you want to talk about, RG?
Honestly, you named any of the guys I would even be looking at. So there really aren't too many running backs this week to be targeting.
Right. It's some stashes, but I'm gonna talk about that a different day. But it's a couple guys that I'll be willing to stash, kind of like a Tootin Hyatt form. It's a couple other guys like that I might give you one right now. Let me see who's a really nice stash. I think RJ Harvey is a really nice stash. I think you
Agreed.
need, if he hits the waiver, you need to go get RJ Harvey and stash him immediately. And hold him for the rest of the season. So that's one stash that I'll talk about. Okay. Let's see here. I guess going to the wide receivers. I guess I'll let you go do your wide receivers first.
So I targeted Trey Franklin a lot this week. He got way more targets than Marvin Mims did. Marvin Mims did get a touchdown, so that saved him on the week. But if Bo Nix and Troy Franklin have a good connection like they did in college, they're probably going to start hitting in the NFL. My next one's going to be Parker Washington. With DB getting hurt, Travis Hunter played a lot more DB snaps. Also, whatever's going on with Brian Thomas Jr., not too sure. Parker Washington did have a good game last week.
Okay. Is that the only guy you had?
Those are my 2 main targets this week.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk about Troy Franklin. That was a guy. So I think you remember this, RJ. You remember where I had Troy Franklin ranked out of that class?
I knew you were high on him. He was up there for you, but then he fell way in the draft.
Right. He was my number 1 wide receiver. And it wasn't wide receiver that I said was talented, but sometimes it's not about talent. It's certain things that you can bring to an NFL team what makes you skip guys. Devontae Adams, it took him a while because of the way he plays the game. Same thing with Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison is going to be good, guys, but he's not a speed demon. So it takes these guys a little bit of time to get going. But Troy Franklin is a speed guy, and I think that's what's putting him. And he's also a bigger guy than Marvin Mims. Pause. So that's what's superseding him past guys like Pat Bryant, where he can stretch the defense. Troy Franklin. So be a pickup Troy Franklin. He will be my number one wide receiver pickup. And far as waiver wire, I would at least 15% of my waiver wire money, or I would spend a number one on him if I needed a wide receiver on my team. But just to stash him, no, I wouldn't spend my number one waiver priority on him if I needed just to stash him. But if I needed to play him, yes, I would. Another guy that I really like, nobody else is talking about it, but I'm worried about his injury. It says something about his neck. It's Kavontae Turpin. This is a sleeper that nobody's just talking about. And this guy, it might be the most explosive wide receiver on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying he's better than CeeDee Lamb, but he's more explosive than CeeDee Lamb.
I would agree.
And he's getting kick returns and punt returns. So I love Kavontae Turpin. Get him right now while the injury is on him. People aren't talking about him. I think this is a guy could be really special this year. Could be a top 32, top 40 wide receiver, which is great value for. Another guy is Tyquan Thornton, and this is just until Rashid Rice comes back, until we see how Xavier Worthy is going to be used with the shoulder. Tyquan Thornton Pat Mahomes is going to hit him with a deep target at least once this week. The only thing is, yes, it may be only one. I don't know how many times it's going to be, but they're going to definitely be pushing it out there for him to stretch the safeties. Did y'all see those passes? The reason why I talk about put back in the safeties back, that's one-on-one coach talk. Nobody talks about this really in fantasy football because a lot of these coaches don't play fantasy. So I'm not saying I'm the best coach, but I mix in a lot of coach speak, a lot of coach breakdown on how I'm going to attack the defense. And so when you have a guy like Tyquan Thornton, guys, you can use him to back up the safeties, and then maybe Travis Kelce and Juju Smith can eat underneath. Other than that, if you don't got nobody who can if Hollywood can't back him up or Tyquan Thornton can't do it, it's not going to happen. So that's what Tyquan Thornton is just a flex play, hope for a deep shot. So this is not a consistent guy. This is a deep league type move. Another guy I want to talk about is Rondale Robinson. We know what Rondale Robinson, he's been a PPR monster the whole time he's been in it with the Giants. So he's going to get 7 to 8 targets. He's a great PPR pickup. He might be the number one pickup in PPR. I really mean that. And if you're playing on 4 PPR leagues, he might be your number one pickup over Troy Franklin.
I would agree. He just
Um,
wasn't on a lot of my waivers.
right. Big facts. Yes, sir. We got a super chat from Big Will. What's up, bruh? He says, is Ollie Gordon droppable for players like Ramondre, Rashad White? Not Rashad White. Rashad White, that could be what you call it, smoke and mirrors, because they got mad at the Bucky missed the block. I don't know if y'all paid any attention to the commentary, but Bucky missed the block and they took him out the game and rewarded Rashad White. And that's coach stuff. That's why coach stuff matters sometimes. Even I don't care how good. That was a lesson for Bucky. Bucky is the best back. He's gonna be the back there for forever. Until as long as he's playing good. But they did that with Rashad White. With Ramondre,
He's the starter right now, so I would.
yes, he's a starter. You have to play him as a RB2 or a flex play. He's a high end flex play and a RB2. That's what he is. So you got any wide receivers, or you already said your 2 guys, didn't you?
One I just thought of was Dontavian Wicks. With Jaden Reed out now, he's probably gonna be missed 7-8 weeks. They started targeting Wicks a lot. It looks like he's gotten a little bit better at catching, so I think he could have a lot of upside.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't trust him. I think he's more of a number 4, number 3 wide receiver, not a number 2. But I get it. He can have a good game. It don't take number 1 catch in that offense, and it's a lot of mouths to feed. Hopefully, Golden can start getting Reed being out before Christian Watson comes back. Hopefully, you can get some concentrated targets there. But yes, Ramondre Stevenson, man, you can drop Ollie Gordon for Ramondre Stevenson. Yes. Appreciate you, Big Will. Yes, sir. I see you be growing. I will be getting to y'all comments. Okay, so let's go over to the tight ends real quick. This is more of a stash. A stash. I'm gonna give you a peek in the inside. Yeah, Isaiah Likely. Go ahead and stash him. And listen, this is why people can say what they want to say. And I guess I'll chastise you a little bit, RG. How many targets have Mark Andrews got the last 2 weeks?
It's not many. I know he might have had 1 catch this week, 1 catch the week before, I think. So 2,
So
maybe.
Right. So if Isaiah Likely would have been playing from week one, you think he would have had one catch?
No. I mean, Mark probably wouldn't have had a target.
Or he might would have had maybe a couple more targets because it would have opened it up. But that what I'm saying, the offense is going to be built around Zay and Isaiah Likely and Derrick Henry. Those are the primary guys. Rashad Bateman and all these other guys are just guys that if they end up being wide open, Lamar throwing the ball. But Isaiah Likely is just not another guy like no Bateman on that team. And I was telling y'all that they paid him. They paid him too. So Likely coming back. Be patient with him. Be patient. He's not gonna come back and probably get a bunch of targets. And you know, Lamar Jackson, you maybe not gonna get the targets that's gonna make you feel comfortable. But what I'm saying is, this is a strategy. If you drafted somebody like T.J. Hawkinson, you in trouble.
Yes.
You in trouble. So this is a guy where you put Isaiah Likely in there and say, I don't care what happens. You can play fantasy that way at the tight end position, but
Likely's a
don't do it
big.
for no other position. Yeah, whatever happens is cool. If he give you 3 points, it's not going to kill you at the tight end position. It's not going to kill you unless you're playing against Brock Bowers and he go for 20. But most of the guys are going to average between 10 to 12 points at the tight end position for the good ones. All the rest of them are going to be below that. So Isaiah Likely, you can put him in your lineups. Another guy is going to be Jake Tongues from the San Francisco 49ers. And let me tell you, it's a Shanahan. When I hear Shanahan, I automatically think of run game and tight ends. Pause. I think of run game and tight ends. Pause. And the reason why is because Shannon Sharp, Terrell Davis, Alfred Morris, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, all the tight ends that the Shanahans are coached up where they've been good in this offense. So Jeff is going to be a guy getting targets. If you want to get a safe guy, you don't know who to play. You in a tight end premium league, and there's no tight ends on the waiver wire. I'm going to play Jake Tongues because I know some targets from Matt Jones because the way this team runs their run game, and stuff like that, right? So I like Jeff Tongues. And last but not least, this guy's not on y'all waivers, but I guess I got to talk about him, Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, listen, he go pick him up, go play him. I always told y'all, another man's trash is another man's treasure. And a lot of you didn't want no Alvin Kamara. Let me tell them why they didn't want Alvin
He
Kamara.
was, he was an
RJ,
old running back. The offense wasn't good.
the offense wasn't good. The offense wasn't good. What I tell y'all about that? You right now, don't you know? It's people that's very rich in America. They go to the trashes and they go to these warehouses where people are left abandoned stuff where they don't want it no more, and they go and find thousands of dollars worth of good stuff. And that's why I tell you, I love to go to these teams: Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans Saints, and I'm Alvin Kamara. What else do I? Back. Let me go get Chuba. I'm gonna go get whatever I want off these teams, and then by the time y'all know, I already got them stashed on my team, and they evolving. So don't never be scared away from these teams. These teams got a coach. Pick players off game script. Pick players that you like. If you can trust the game script, I can trust what I tell you about tight ends. They are a quarterback
Mm-hmm.
best friend. So this is a young quarterback, young quarterback Spencer Rattler. I know he's gonna go into his tight end. Let's see here. You got any? Who you got? You got any tight ends that we didn't talk about?
So I was surprised, and Zach Ertz was a lot of my waivers. I think he's a must-add, especially with the MCL sprain on Jaden Daniels. He's not going to be running as much. So he likes Zach Ertz. He always has. So I think he can get a couple more targets out of it too.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can't believe why did they drop Zach Ertz?
Um, I might have not just picked him up. I don't know. He was on like half my league's waivers.
Okay. All right, so let's go to start going through some of these questions. Um, we got DeAndre Swift first in there. He says, "What's good?" Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce look good. Hey, listen, all these guys are going to have good weeks. We don't know who to play. The only guy that I'm probably starting was more than one guy. I'm starting Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren,
Yep.
and Jonathan Taylor. That's the only three guys that I'm starting on this team. Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, and Daniel Jones and Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman is a star, but Alec Pierce, this is going to be hard to find a time when you're going to play Alec Pierce. Yes, he's gonna make a lot of big plays, but I don't want to depend on that.
He's like a 16 team man or 16
Y-
team league where you need that upside.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Big Will says 100. Yes, sir. What up, bruh? Cameron Austin says Burrow. Ain't nothing you can do, man. That's part of
Happens
fantasy.
every other year with
That's part of
Burrow.
fantasy. Dean James Tally in the building. Big Will says, are we benching Chase Brown? No, we're not benching Chase Brown.
He's got a lot of dump offs.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. You got to keep playing him. He's getting all the targets and he's getting the green zone. Once Jake Browning get in there and start hyper targeting Joe Burrow and they moving that ball, Cincinnati's playing good ball. They 2-0. People don't want to say it, but they 2-0. And Chase is gonna have some big plays just because everybody going. Then they really gonna have to double team Jamar because Browning just gonna hyper target him. So that's gonna open it up. Chase Brown is gonna be okay. I would actually tell people to go buy low on him if you can.
True. You drafted him high. You got to play him. Who else are you
You
going to
gotta
replace
play
him with?
him. Yep. Cameron Austin says week 3, Drake May or Jaden Daniels. Well, with Jaden Daniels' injury, I don't know, but I'm playing. You have to play Jaden Daniels if he's healthy. How do you feel about that, RG?
I don't know who either of them play. I don't think Jaden's going to have much of a rushing upside if it's an MCL sprain. Um, Depending on who the Patriots, they play the
Steelers.
Steelers. Honestly, as a Steelers
The
fan,
Patriots does.
as a Steelers fan, the Patriot or they haven't really looked that great, and you can run all over them right now. So I probably would play Drake May just if he's
Right.
healthy.
Yeah, that's why that's why I would say it. To me, I just hate telling you to sit Jaden Daniels. That's going against my philosophy. If Lamar is hobbled and he's active, it would take for me to have a really high end quarterback before I sit Lamar.
Drake can run too, though, so
Yeah, he can. Drake is
I'm
like
okay
that.
with it.
Right, Drake is like that. I told y'all that I picked Lamar, Josh, Drake, and
Hmm.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the only quarterback that to me, but he had a good week in that garbage time. I always
Yeah,
tell y'all I love garbage time. Shit, garbage time was good.
someone's gonna
Um,
score.
right. Big Will says the Vikings are signing Cam Akers. Just another guy. Jawan Allen says, yeah. Tron says, what up, fellas? George says, yes, sir, TD. He says, Lamar saved my butt again. Big concerns over Travion, though. Yeah, man, you just gotta stash him and you cannot drop him. I'm telling y'all the gas right now.
He had 3 holding penalties. It's gonna take him a little while. He's a rookie,
Yeah,
though. You expect it.
yeah, it's gonna be okay. He's gonna take over that backfield soon. Or he's gonna start producing and making some big plays. So I will hold on to him. Um CK says, what's Mason trade value? I guess I'll just give you a trade target. Would you go after Brian Thomas Jr. if you needed a wide receiver?
I would buy low on him. It's only week 2. They're gonna figure something out for him.
Yep, yep. I think you're gonna have to be patient with him. He's gonna have like a Cortland Sutton season, like last year. You know how Cortland Sutton started off garbage in the
Hmm.
beginning? Like he
Yep.
was droppable. He was on the waiver wire the first 5 or 6 weeks, and then he got going and was a top 5 wide receiver in the fourth quadrant. So I would just hold on. Frank Mason, that's one guy. But listen, I'll make a video, and I'm gonna do a trade video probably maybe third. I don't know. I'm gonna do a trade video before Thursday game. We'll get a trade video because it's very important right now. I see a lot of trade targets like Travion, Henderson, guys like that. Those are some big trade value guys.
All the
Maybe
rookies
even
are
Justin
good.
Jefferson. Who?
All the running back rookies right now.
Yeah, come on now. RJ Harvey. That's the video. That's the name of the video right there, RJ. Go get these running back rookies. You right, bro. You right. DeAndre Swift season says, I mean the backup, whoever that is, could be better than McCarthy, but yeah, I never took Jefferson. Got you. Got you. Yeah, I don't think Carson Wentz gonna be better than McCarthy. Carson Wentz can't move. So if
Yeah.
they can protect him, he might be able to deliver a few games for him. Paola says, what's up, bruh? I'm hurting at running back. Basically only have Chuba and Tracy. I got offered Wandale for Chubb. Should I do it? No, man, I think you need to keep Chubb now. Chubb looks like he's getting a little bit. He looks a little quicker than usual. Not just because he scored. I thought he ran pretty good. What do you think about Chubb, RG?
I mean, he had a decent game against a tough run defense. Like if you have Chubb, like I wouldn't trade him right now, but it's not
Mm-mm.
someone I'm trying to get.
No, I wouldn't try to go get. I agree. I wouldn't try to trade for him. But I think you got Chubb. Um, you got. You know what? So he said he need a running back. So he actually got Wandale. Yeah, why not? Why not trade? Go ahead and trade Wandale. What is Wandale gonna do probably for his team? He probably can't get Wandale into his lineup with the wide receivers he got.
Wandale's not going to be consistent either. So
Well, not for the boom games, but I
no,
do think he at least to get 6 or 7 points a game for the
yeah,
targets. Yeah, yeah. So I would make that move and go get Chubb, but I would also shop around and see if you can get something a little bit better, maybe, right?
hmm
Maybe just try it, and then if you got to go to Chubb, you always got that as a backup. Father Three says CMC. That's one of my biggest. A lot of people is off CMC. Listen. It's not over yet, but if I get 6 weeks, I'm doing a victory lap. Tell me how that. Tell me, RG, is that philosophy? Is that crazy?
I'm riding CMC this year. I got a lot of CMC, so I'm right there with you.
How many weeks would you? I know we want them for all 18, but that's not gonna win. I hate to have this conversation, but this is kind of what I always want to teach. How do you feel about having CMC? Um, Let me see how. I guess I would ask this question. How many weeks do you need CMC to be healthy for you to say this is a successful year?
Um, I would say probably about half the season. I know in a lot of my leagues that
Mhm.
I drafted CMC in, I have Brian Robinson though, so I anticipate
Right,
if anything happens, but it's not something I want to happen.
right. Of course not. So, so I. This is what I would say. If I get 6 weeks out of them, I'm good because I'm ready for. I got my playoff. I'm 5-1.
hmm
I'm 4-2. He took me to the. Hey, you can take a horse to water. You can't make him drink it. He took me to the water. I'm gonna do the rest. That's all I'm asking for. Give me 6 weeks, CMC, and they using him, and he's going into his next phase of his career, guys, where he's a PPR guy. He's going to get used like Alvin Kamara now.
hmm
Now he used to be a superstar where he's getting 30 touches a game. They tuning it down a little bit and just giving him prime catches and let him get in the goal line touches. That's a prompt. That's a fantastic role. It's keeping him healthy and he's gonna get all the fantasy points.
Yep.
So yeah, that was another man. I think my list, man, of my guys is like 80%, man, from Chuba, Alvin, CMC, Jameer Gibbs, Bijan, and those guys just taking those guys over Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. That's what I mean. Everybody know to draft those guys.
Yep.
Uh, got another super chat for TZG, man. He says, "Good evening, TD. Drop Justin Fields for Daniel Jones." Go ahead, RG.
I personally wouldn't. I think Justin Fields has a lot more upside, but if you want a more consistent play, I think Daniel Jones would be better.
Listen, I don't want to be called out about Daniel Jones anymore. I'm done with Daniel Jones. But you paid for your services, so I'm gonna address it. And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna, guys. I'm just gonna be because TZ is my man, so I'm gonna be straight 100 with you. Forget Justin Fields. Get him off your team. That's a ticking time bomb. It could be great for you. It could be bad for you. I don't got time for that. That's why I told everybody to go get your prime quarterbacks or wait late and you got no other choice but to play Russell last name Wilson. You see why you play Russell last name Wilson? Because you ain't got nothing else. But if you get some other quarterbacks, you're never gonna be able to get to these guys. So get the top guys or wait late and just play your guys and let them develop and work the waiver wire with them. Justin Fields with his middle tier guys that we hoping for. And I do it with different players. I did it for Christian Watson for 2 years. Christian Watson, and all he's doing is getting hurt. He's getting hurt. I'm not touching on Justin Fields because he's too volatile. He's a great player as far as when he's playing well, but that's why I told y'all last week. I was like, listen, what you want me to tell you? I cannot tell you not to go play Justin Fields when he just put up a 30-point game in fantasy. But he's a trap. He's a trap. Lamar Ain't none of us gonna have this conversation if he had the same game as Justin Fields had. You see what I'm saying? So if you got Drake May, then you can get off that. You can make that decision. Drake May. I don't want to say this. Is say Justin Fields because I don't want him. Or let me see another quarterback. Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young. That's an easy decision. Hell yeah, you're getting Daniel Jones. You don't have that attachment. I try to teach you from having attachments to these volatile players. You know who I'm attached to? I'm attached to my stud players like Josh Allen and Lamar. Look, Josh Allen hit a 10-point game, and we all feel great about that game. Ain't that something? We feel great about that game because we know that was just game script. He broke his nose. James Cook got all the touchdowns. That's fine. So I think you should get rid of Justin Fields and don't worry about him no more. Trade him. Try to trade him and get something for him. If you want to hold him on your roster, I'm not telling you just to drop him, but do not think about playing him. If he scores high, that's good. Try to trade him. Get off of that because you're gonna be doing this every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week. I don't want no problems with that. How do you feel about that? What I
I
said.
You're absolutely right. Like Justin Fields is not going to be consistent. I just think the upside's higher, so you're definitely going to get way more points out of his upside, but he's going to have pretty low weeks too.
Right. Big facts. Appreciate that, TZ. Appreciate that, bro. Um, Make sure I ain't missed no super chats. Cause I don't want to skip that place where I'm at.
I think there's just those two.
Okay. Um, okay. Cameron says that's cutting edge content. He was talking about the Anthony Richardson to the Bengals. Maybe that is they talking about rumors. Christopher Harding. He says, should I make a move to get Drake London for T. Higgins plus RJ Harvey in Hollywood? So should he make a move to get Drake London for T. Higgins? Hell yeah. So you getting Drake London? Hell yeah. Make that move. Get off T. Higgins. Get off that damn Chrysler. Do anybody know anything about cars? We all know what Chryslers are, and I hate to do that because I could get a deal from Chrysler in 2 years or something, and I'm talking shit about Chrysler. But Chrysler is one of these cars. They look good, but it's always broken down,
Yep.
and the shit and the stuff is low budget. Like the shit in the car is low budget. I don't. That's what T. Higgins. You not Jamar Chase. You ain't Justin Jefferson. But everybody like you because you're a tall wide receiver playing with Joe Burrow. I don't want no T. Higgins. He's too mid for me. Drake London was that guy, but after how Michael Penix throws the ball, you see Kyle Pitts getting unlocked. Drake London just waiting for his shoulder to get better, and he's going to be a really good player too. So yes, get off of that. Plus RJ Harvey in Hollywood. What is he saying? Plus RJ Harvey.
I
So
don't know if
he's
he's talking about all three or either one.
okay. I like the RJ Harvey.
Well, I think he's giving up T. Higgins, R.J. Harvey, or Hollywood.
Okay. I would give up Hollywood and T. Higgins if I could. But if you have to have it for RJ Harvey, why not? Because this is Drake London. How you feel? You think it's worth Drake London to do T. Higgins and Hollywood? Or I say T. Higgins and RJ Harvey.
I mean, T's value drops without Burrow there. All the targets should be going to Jamar Chase. So, yeah, if I can move on to Drake London, I'd do it.
Right. Christopher Harder says, I don't like Anthony Richardson move. I don't either. Fantasy Network says fake news. Appreciate you, bro. What's going on with you, Terrence? Big Rowan says Cincinnati also bought Broad and Ripping. He just bought him in just to have a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Fred says, would you trade Ricky and RJ Harvey for Jordan Mason?
No.
No. Nope. Cameron says, do you think Hampton and Harris are going to continue to get 50-50 splits going forward? Yes, sir.
For the time being.
That's why I told people not to get no Marion Hampton. Not because he's a bad player. He just got to come and beat out a bunch of guys, and I don't got time for that. Now, I will buy on him when you see something. Now, listen, I think you need to go a little bit more farther, but this is the time to go buy on him and stash him. If say you got some 2 good pieces on your bench, and you don't really need those pieces, your team is really strong, you 2-0, why not go get Hampton? You can go get him now. If he has anything of a game, 16, 17 points, and he looks good and breaks a long run, it's going to be hard for you to get him. So if you want the guy, I'm just talking to people, not just Cameron, then yeah, you got to go make that move now. This is the time to do it. You're going to get him at his cheapest. But yes, they're going to click split in 50-50. This is a Justin Herbert team, but they will run the ball when they need it and later on in the season. Cameron says, "Who is your guy? Who is your buy low, sell high list?" That's gonna be later, but I guess I'll give you a few guys. I'll let you go. RG, who is a buy low guy?
Travion Henderson for me.
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stick with you and say Travion Henderson. Another guy would be Jamison Williams.
I'd agree.
That's another guy. I was so man. If have I'm like I was about to make a video and say, "Hey guys, I'm wrong on Jameson. I'm sorry. I made." And then he broke a long play. I said, "Oh, whoo! What the? I mean, you ain't got no targets in the second half. What the hell is going on?" But
Another super
what's
chat.
yeah, I see it. Let's finish with Cameron real quick. What's the sell high?
Nico.
Mm. I
That
actually,
that
mm-hmm.
offensive line is atrocious, and they
It is.
suck at running the ball right now. So not much is opening up for Nico. He had the potential to be a top 3 wide receiver in my opinion, but that there's just too much wrong with that offense right now.
I agree with that. I actually think he's a buy low on the other side, but I get it. I can't disagree with what you're saying because it don't look good, promising for going into the different quadrants. Me a buy low guy would be. I said Travion Henderson. Um, Isaiah Likely, if that's not a stash guy. A sell high guy would be a sell high guy. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second.
Kenneth Walker.
Yes, yes. Kenneth Walker would be a sell high guy for me. Yep. That's a great question, Cameron. Usually that's a whole video for me. That's why I wanted to do that. Got another super chat from TZG. Man, what's up, bro? He says, "Yo, TD, I see a lot of people blaming content creators for their players not balling out or struggling. Just want to say to everyone, take the L with the W. Everyone, man, up your own squads. Appreciate it." Yes, sir, bro. I agree with that. But as a content creator, you have to be also responsible for what you're saying, and I'm very responsible. That's why I love my hit rate players, and that's why I don't talk about other players that I don't want to be on my hit rate because my hit rate is what I'm carrying. You know. So I agree with you. Before you come and start making shots in the channel, it's your fault. Da 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 da. But it's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, TD, man, I played such and such, it didn't go well, but it's all good." Da, 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 just to let me know, so because I have to reflect. That's why I tell y'all, you don't have to attack me, but you need to let me know. Hey, you told me to play this guy, and I can tell you why we made that call and what we're gonna do going forward. But you don't. Yeah, I agree with you in totality, bro. Appreciate you, TZ. I appreciate your respect. Um. Noberto says, "Hey guys, I need to pick up one. Tootin, Scatterbo, or Judkins." That's a good one.
Judkins.
Yeah, I will go with Judkins.
He's gonna be the starter there. You gotta go with
Yeah.
him.
Yep. And he's getting the goal line touches. Scatterbo is too, but Tyrone Tracy can get goal line touches too if he has a good game, right? I don't think Sampson can do anything to take Judkins out the lineup for the goal line. And 210, it would have to be an injury, but he's also has standalone value. So 210, I would say Judkins and 210 then Scatterbo. B Growing says, "Would you pick up Blake Corum and drop Sampson with Judkins back?" No. I
So
think that potentially, I would still stay with Sampson because if something, they're gonna use two backs. So I will hold Sampson for one more week and see what it looks like with a healthy Judkins, and see if Sampson stays in a Kareem Hunt role, and then I might like that over Corum because Corum I only seen one standalone value game, and I don't know if you even called it a standalone value game last week. Like, what do you call Corum game last week? Is it good enough to play?
no, not really. I just saw a video of Sean McVay saying they want to do a two back split of 65 Kyron, 35 Corum. Kyron's the receiving back there. Sampson's the receiving back in the Browns, so you got to go with Sampson.
Right. Mr. G says we still waiting on Ollie to or drop for Corn. I would hold. To me, Corn can't do nothing for my team unless Kyron gets hurt. So I will hold on to Ollie because look what Ollie will have if he gets hurt with the Dolphins. I like that better than I like Corm. I don't even know if Corm's gonna get all the targets by himself if something happened to Kyron. What do you feel, Ollie, or what would you do? Hold on to Ollie or go pick up Corm?
Mm, probably hold on to Ollie, but not either one of them really looking to have.
Right. Just a week to week thing. Tony says, how about them Cowboys? Yes, sir, bruh. Yes,
That was a
sir.
game.
Uh, yes, sir. Tron says I stashed both Christian Watson and Tajay Spears in my IR spots. Good job, bro. Listen, to me, this is what I want to say. What do you think is the most important move? And I mean stash, waiver wire pickup, drafting, starts and sits. What you think is and it could be something else if you know another strategy. What's the most important strategy or term in fantasy football?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, RJ.
Oh, it's probably the waivers, I would think.
You think it's the waivers? I think it's stashing, which is something. It's kind of the waivers, but it's a little bit different. It's me working the waivers before I have to do it on the waivers. That's to me. I think that's just my opinion. I love stashing players. I think that's how you get ahead and win leagues. Because if somebody goes down and you already had that player stashed for 3 to 4 weeks and it's his time, like look at Quinshawn Judkins. What if a lot of people dropped him and now you got him? Look what it's gonna do to your team. It's raising your team up probably 8 to 10 points.
Someone dropped him. We went to the waivers though first.
True. So if you can call waivers the waivers, if you wanted to let the waivers be the all be all, but you probably picked them up. You didn't have to spend anything for them. You didn't have to use a waiver priority.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Tony says, no, it's not Tony. Mr. G says outlook on Penix Jr. Hey, he's gonna be fine.
Yep.
He's a young quarterback. Power Cashew says, I've got Hampton and Henderson. Should I try and trade Warren for a good running back and pick up a tight end off waivers? I've got Hampton and Henderson. Should I try to trade Warren for a good running back? For a running back to hold you over until Henderson and Hampton is ready? Yes. Yes. I don't know what running back it is out there for you to trade for. That's ready right now. Tuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara are guys that I would try to target. I wouldn't go too low. I wouldn't go to Kenneth Walker. I would go to a guy better than Kenneth Walker. Mad Decent says, are we sitting Chase Brown? No, sir. Lunch Table Legend says, What's good, bro? He says, how you feel about Dontavius Wicks rest of the season? Just another guy. How do you feel about him, RG?
He'll get a couple more targets, but yeah, just another guy. There's already a lot of people to feed on that offense, and the offense is going to run through Josh Jacobs with how good that defense is.
Right. Eric B says late to the stream, best replacement for Burrow. I say I'm just gonna keep it simple. I broke it down. Go if you can go back to the video, you'll see how I broke all the guys down. But I'm gonna say go ahead and go with Jake Browning. Who would you go with?
Daniel Jones.
Yes, I forgot about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones is out there, you got to go get Daniel Jones. I can't believe people are going to get Daniel Jones, and you don't see a lot of people. You don't see a lot
Probably
of.
his time.
Jerome says, Ramondre Stevenson or Tony Pollard? I'm gonna go with Tony Pollard, man, by himself.
That's how I'm leaning.
B Silver says, is it safe to drop Flacco in Superflex? I got Geno and Dak. Might snag Jake Brown or should just stick with the main quarterback. It's okay to drop Flacco and go pick up Jake Browning and keep Geno and Dak. What would you do, RG?
Yeah, I would do the same. Flacco's not going to be an outstanding quarterback this year. He's going to be a weekly fill-in, maybe on a good matchup, but that's about it.
Right. SoCal Cooks that start fanning over Njoku this week, possibly from here on out. I just can't say that, but it doesn't look good for Njoku having Fanning doing what he's doing. But
Mm-hmm.
Njoku still has some pretty good, decent targets. And a guy that I think can still have a big week. Is he a top 5 tight end? Probably not with Fanning there. It's not probably not gonna happen. That's gonna be one of my misses of being a top 5 guy. But I still think Njoku got something special that can come to him. I still like him as a player. But I say, I guess starting next week, if you want to, in a full PPR league, I would go ahead and start fanning over Njoku, but I wouldn't say for the rest of the week or the rest of the season. I mean, sorry. KJ Frederick says, "What up, guys? My RBs are currently my weakest link. I have Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Mason Bayshore, and Ollie Gordon. Should I drop Gordon for Algier or Rashad White? Yes, you should drop Ollie Gordon for somebody for the next best thing that you can find on the waiver wire. So I think you just got to keep rolling Travion Henderson. No, you got to keep rolling Mason and Bayshore Tootin out there until Henderson and RJ Harvey is ready. Mason is going to give you some good value this week, and Bayshore should give you some good value. Drop Ollie Gordon and try to find you another player. Algier, that's an injury. You're not going to be able to play him every single week as a standalone value. Rashad White, you're not going to be able to play him every single week as a standalone value. So I would try to find something better than those guys. B. Growing says, my tight ends is Juwan Johnson. Would you drop Evan Ingram for likely? Yes, I would.
Yeah, Ingram's done.
Jay Moore says, thoughts on Kirk coming back from injury? It's going to help out just a little bit, but I'm still not. I'm still not looking to pick up Christian Kirk. I might stash him on my team just to see what happens. Jay Moore says, what's the Hampton situation? Nothing, just a 50-50 situation. It's gonna be 50-50.
He's a rookie. Don't expect him to pop off right away.
Jay Moore says, I wouldn't be surprised if Henderson boomed this week despite snap percentage and splitting with Stevenson. I agree. That's how this shit works. That's how fantasy works.
Henderson was supposed to have a big game, and then he drew those 3 holding penalties right away, and they benched his ass.
Yep. That's what happened. KJ says, better tight end, hold or stash, Harold Fanning Jr. or likely? Full PPR, been rocking with Ferguson first 2 weeks. It depends on what you want. You want floor or boom? Floor is Fanning, floor is Fanning, and boom is likely. To me, if I'm going tight end, I'm looking for boom. So I would like likely rest of the season over Fanning. What you think, RG?
I would agree. As of right now, like you're fine with Ferguson until Likely's healthy. He just had a good game.
B Silver says Justin Fields is always running for his life. Mad says, answer my Chase B question. Wide receiver sitting at the T, Garrett and Drake, should I pivot? You answered my Chase Brown question. Wide receiver sitting at T. Oh, who is he? What is he saying?
I think he's saying he has T. Garrett Wilson and Drake London as wide receivers. Should he pivot off of them?
I would pivot off Garrett
I
Wilson.
would try to trade T and Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
Yes, I would. For a combo for one. Like, or I would do Garrett Wilson straight up. I would do T. Higgins straight up for Jamison Williams. I would do T. Higgins straight up for Jamison Williams. I'm trying to think who would I trade for with Garrett Wilson. I think it's a wide receiver out there. I don't want to say Jamison. I think you can do a little bit better than Jamison.
I try to get a Buka.
I thought about Ibuka, but Ibuka is actually a guy that I want to sell high on. I forgot about that. That's the guy that I want. I want to sell high on him and get a level because he just had 2 good games. Maybe I can get a better tier guy that I like.
I don't know. I think he's still going to break out, and I just don't trust Godwin coming back with the injury this year to be like an elite
Mm,
performance like he was last year. I think Ibuka's going to
Got
beat
you.
him out.
I like that. I respect that. That makes sense. I don't know because I don't trust Godwin either injury, but I didn't like the way they used Ibuka last night. It wasn't Ibuka. It was just I didn't like the one target in the second half.
Mm.
Um,
I think that was because he got hurt. If you
yeah,
saw
too. I saw that.
he was getting
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Jay Moore says just about sold on Drake May moving forward. Would I be fooled for dropping Knicks to waivers? Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. And I know Jay Moore, we didn't talk about this, and I would like to know your opinion and to help break me down to help me understand. Why would you get two Drake May and Bo Nix? Well, and I get it now that Drake May is playing good, but if that was the case, I would try to trade. If I really believed in Bo Nix, I would try to trade Drake May. Like I don't think you need two quarterbacks, but if you like doing that, that's fine. We're here to do it. How do you feel about that, RG? How you feel about having two quarterbacks in a single quarterback league? Like where are they
I
in the same kind of tier?
I truthfully don't mind it. But if I were you, I would try to trade one of them to the Joe Burrow owner.
Yeah, yeah. Take and make sure you go down with your gut. Go down with your shit. Whatever guy that you like and you feel great about, you go with you keep that guy and trade the other guy. AK says, yeah, that's crazy. Bo Nix was nice. Jay Moore says, okay, he's talking to the other guy. D Smitty says, I'm 0-2 in a two quarterback league. Daniels, and Brock Purdy out. Backups are Ward and Rattler. Running backs are Henderson, Monty, Brian Robb, and Connors. Merritt, Jacoski Merritt, Browning, and Mac Jones are on waivers. Would you prioritize? Who would I prioritize? I would. My priority would be Merritt, and then I would get whatever quarterback is left over between Browning and Mac Jones. So the order would be Brian Robinson, Connors. It would be Merritt, Browning, and Matt Jones. That's how I would do it. Merritt, Browning. So I would go get Merritt, then I would get Browning. If Browning is gone, then I get Matt Jones.
I agree with that.
Sotober says Mary Penix or a top waiver pick like Daniel Jones or Russ. I listen. I think you got to try. It's not enough for a quadrant yet. One more week from Daniel Jones. Now he did it against Denver, so this is by him doing it against Denver. You have to supersede and go with a Daniel Jones in this situation because you ain't got no top guys. You got Kyler Murray, but this is a certain situation. Like Kyler, to me, and I put him in that middle tier guys. I didn't draft any Kyler this year. I got him on a couple teams that I had already in Dynasty. But I would say go get Daniel Jones because you cannot leave that out there when you have guys like Murray and Penix. They haven't played well enough. So go get Daniel Jones, and I would start him over Murray and Penix this week. What do you feel about this situation, RG?
Um, I would either go Daniel Jones or I'm gonna go with Murray because I drafted him.
Yep.
One or the other, I would go with. If Murray can have a good game, the Niners' defense isn't as good as it used to be. So honestly, I think they both can score right around the same.
Right.
You might be a little safer with Jones, but Murray would probably have a better upside.
Jim Bush says buy low on Dylan Sampson. No, I wouldn't buy low on him. I'm good if I don't got him on my team. Jim Bush says sell high on Mecca Ibuka. Yes, sell high on Mecca Ibuka. I believe so. But RG thinks that he's going to be a great guy to have on your team staying in temper. Like by him getting the targets from Baker, he's going to be good. Would you say he's a top 12 wide receiver rest of the season?
Yeah, I think he's going to be the number one target on the Buccaneers offense.
Right. Guys, let's get the likes up. We got 35 to 40 people in here, and we only got 22 likes. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Alex says, no, TZ says, yeah, bro, I agree with you. Like when Hill had a bad week one, but I still stuck with him for week two, and he bounced back. But if he failed, I was prepared for that as well. That's it. It's Occam Razor. I'm telling you, you have to. To me, and this is the way I teach it. You have to be okay with how you lose, better than you are trying to decide how you're going to win. Because you don't want to be. You don't want to be like, why the hell did I do that? That's the worst way to play fantasy. That's terrible way to play fantasy. Um, Alex says sell high on Jalen Warren and Javonte Williams. I would sell high on Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I would keep Jalen Warren.
I would too. B Silver says, when you say buy low, are we looking at current trade charts to see what the player's current value is? Mostly yes. I just sometimes, man, buy low is my own mind because if you go by the trade charts, it's somebody else telling you what's good and bad. I like to go whatever I see. Like me and RG right now, we know Ibuka can play, but we got two different decisions, right? I want to sell high on them so I can go and get a different tier guy up. I don't know what that tier guy is. Let's think about that real quick. If I wanted to sell high on Ibuka, what's a couple guys, RG,
Um,
that I can make the trade happen? Even a 2-for-1 is fine too. If you can find two guys in a tier.
if I was gonna like
Um,
move up from him, I would try to get like maybe like a JSN.
yeah, a JSN. Let me see. A Devonte Adams and Devonte Adams and something. And the reason why I think Devonte Adams' targets are going to be more concentrated, and Puka could go down with an injury. That's the reason why I would bring up Devonte Adams in another piece. Terry McLaurin in another piece. I will move off to get the because that's what that is. You're not going. It ain't gonna always be a guy who's been outperforming Ibuka, but it's gonna be a guy who is getting more of a target share than Ibuka. That would make me feel good about moving up. Brian Thomas Jr. or Rasheed Rice. Like you can get Rasheed Rice in another piece. Zay Flowers. I would get. I would get. I would do this straight up for Zay Flowers. Okay. Um. See, JC, what's up, brother? He said, "Would you trade McBride for Kamara and Myers? I got Jerron and Kittle coming back. Okay, I got you. Yes, I would trade McBride, but I would want something better than Myers. You can do better than Myers, but the Kamara one is the way to go. I like Kamara in another piece, but you can get something better than Myers. I know Myers is a straight player. He's getting PPR points, but I think you can do better. If you can't, I'm okay with the trade. I say it's a B minus. If you keep Myers, if you get another player, it could go up to an A because the Kamara piece is to me is tremendous. When you already got tight ends, that's a good job. Way to have backups. That way you can give the front loaded guy off, and then you can bring in the backups later, which is good value because Juwan can not outperform Trey, but he's gonna be in the top 5. What's going on, XS Knox? Jimmy says, TD, what's your stance on Chase Brown? Hold him or cash him out while you can. Hold him. I would hold him. Tron says, TD, you thinking Mac Jones or Russ versus Kansas City this week? I also have CMC that may catch a Mac Jones pass. Right. I would go with I like Mac Jones, but I like Russell, but not for this week. But I like Russell for long term for boom weeks. But Matt Jones is for a streaming quarterback this week. I would stream Matt Jones for as a safe guy when I got a really good team. Russ could give you 5 points. Anytime, Eric B. It's Brody. What's up? He's B growing stuff says could Junkins still get suspended? He's
Yep.
not out of the woods yet. Yeah, but it ain't. It's still gonna be. It's gonna be okay. Like I think they're gonna wait till maybe next year to do that. Why would you do it right now? If you're gonna do it, you should have had them suit up. Uh, GT Sports says, can we play Worthy? I'm not playing Worthy. I need to see one game first.
I would agree. I have a lot of worthies, so I got to see it before I can play them.
Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 40 people in here. We only got 27 likes. Big Will says he hasn't been charged with anything, so I think he plays. S. Knox says, got Swift and Taylor in as RBs, got Mason and Mary on the bench. Should I start any of those on the bench?
I would go Mason over Swift this week playing the Bengals.
I can't do it with Carson Wentz. I need to see Carson Wentz move. I think of course, look, Justin Jefferson, if anybody can help a quarterback out, Justin Jefferson can. I just think I like Swift better. I think Swift gives you PPR upside, and I think he's game script dependent. No matter how bad the score gets. If they got to pass a lot, I don't know how much Mason stays in the game. I would stay with Swift and Taylor. Sean of the South says, is Tootin a start in the flex territory yet? I am desperate for a replacement for Chase Brown between him and Devontae Smith. No, Tootin cannot get over Chase Brown or Devontae Smith. I would start Chase Brown. JC says, still sticking with Strange. I got Andrews on the bench.
Yep, over
Yeah, you
Andrews.
got no other choice. Yeah. Um, Robert Christensen says, what is your thoughts on Xavier Scott since Jones is out? I don't know who's he talking about.
I don't know.
Let me know who you talking about, Robert. JC said, Ibuka got his hamstring wrapped last night. Makes me a little worried. Got you. Okay. Mr. G says, have Pickens and want to trade for an RB, but no one wants him for some reason. Just keep him or still try to trade him and who? Hold on to him. Don't give him away for chopped liver.
He's gonna boom.
Uh,
That's you're gonna trade him.
yeah. That's when you trade him. So right now I would just hold. D-Take says, bro, I hate your notification. Don't pop up, bro. You be on it, bro. Cutting edge for real. Yes. Hey, this is what I want. I think you need to go to the notification bell and put unsubscribe and then subscribe again, but put all. Or instead of unsubscribing, just go to personalize and then go back to all. So once you click the notification bell, change it from all, go to personalize and then go back to all. Or if you're not on all, just go to all. Because sometimes it won't come up if you're not on personalize. Jay Moore says Raiders run D has been solid as so far. How confident are you in starting Bill? I'm confident depending on what else I got. If I don't got nothing else better to play, then why not? I don't think it's a terrible start. Man, decent says appreciate y'all anytime. D says what's good, bruh. Jay Moore said who would your priority be? Scatterboy or Tootin? I would go with Tootin. I think he has a little bit better standalone value because Tyrone Tracy could have a good week next week. But I do think Scatterboy is a good play. Both of these guys, if you could pick up both of them, I would think that would be fine. But I would go with Tootin. Who you going with, Scatterboy or Tootin?
Um, I'm going with Tootin. I think he has a little bit more upside, and I think the Jags are a better team than the Giants right now. But
Yeah,
Scadabo's on his way up too.
yeah. Both of these guys are really good. Tomato, but I'm going with Tootin because I think he's going to. Travis Etienne can't take all the carries, and I think Tootin has standalone value. DT says, I need a running back. I have Hampton, Walker, Henderson, Mason, and Ja'Cory Cross-Camara. Should I get Scatterbo or Tootin? We just talked about that. I would get Tootin. Jay Moore says, Leggett, 8 targets, 2 yards. Coker is definitely a better wide receiver at this point. I agree. I agree, Jay Moore. I don't know what the hell going on with Leggett. Looks like he could be a bust, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Guys, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. We're gonna go through a few more. Dirk says someone traded the AJ Brown for my Keenan Allen. I plan on flipping AJ Brown. I already have Pickens and Ibuka. Someone traded me AJ Brown for my Keenan Allen. I plan on flipping AJ Brown. And it's gonna be hard to flip him. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard. Um, JC said Devontae Adams for Ibuka. You tripping? No, we was talking about Ibuka for Devontae Adams in another piece. That's what I was saying. Ibuka for Devontae Adams in another piece. Matthew Stafford is going to be hyper targeting Ibuka. I mean, Puka
Adam.
Nakua and Devontae Adams. Um, Jay Musher, should I try to drop the Denver DST? Nope. Anybody pick up a Green Bay tight end? Yes. Arlen says, who you benching between Tyreek, Chase Brown, and Alvin Kamara next week? It's gonna have to be Tyreek. If you
Yeah.
got, none of those guys are benches. Tron says a guy in my league traded Ibuka and Gary Wilson for Higgins. Veggies. The season started looking like wash now, right? Juwan said, should I get off on Hunter Henry? Pause. I got Njoku and thinking that get Okonkwo for or Juwan Johnson. Yes, you should get off Hunter Henry and go to Juwan Johnson.
Yep.
Super chat from Kingdom Nike says my running backs are Genty, Kyron, Breach, Charbonnet. Who can I trade to upgrade running back? Should I trade Kyler Murray and Breach for Bo Nix, Henderson, and Mason? My wide receivers are Brian Thomas Jr., London, Ibuka, JSN, Debo, and Rice. Okay, so he says my running backs are Genty, Kyron, Breach, and Charbonnet. So you got Genty and Kyron. Who should I trade to upgrade RBs? Should I trade Kyler Murray and Breach for Bo Nix, Henderson? So trade Kyler Murray and Breach for Bo Nix, Henderson, and Mason.
I would say no.
So this is what I think you should try to do, King of Nike. I would take Ibuka. I would take Ibuka and Breach and try to get me a better player. I would take Ibuka and Breach and try to get me a better player. I would try to level up to an Amon-Ra St. Brown type guy. I don't right now. I don't have anybody, but that's what I would try to level up. Take Ibuka. Other than that, I wouldn't do the trade. Um,
Maybe look at the Derrick Henry owner. He just had a really bad game.
there you go. There you go. Somebody like that. Somebody like that. Um, Yes, guys, I'm gonna do a trade video. I see that we need some trade targets, and I'm gonna do some trade target videos at each position, guys that you should look to try to trade for. That's okay. That I think got upside. Um, yeah, Ibuka is cooking. Sean of the South says, lastly, no fantasy YouTubers talk about defense enough. Minnesota's getting exposed. I'm gonna start talking about it, man. I don't do defenses, I do IDPs, but I start doing it a little bit more. Getting exposed. Seahawks and Houston's are coming on. They held a very powerful Bucks offense well in check. They did. Following up on the McBride for Kamara and Myers trade, the other wide receivers I could try for are Flowers and Adunze, who he won't trade. Okay, I would try Flowers. I would try to get Flowers as a wide receiver that will level up your wide receivers. Now, listen, he's going to be a good guy between 10. His floor is 10 points. His ceiling goes all the way up. But I think he's got a floor of 10 points. That's why Ibuka, to me, when Chris Godwin comes back and plays a little bit, I don't know if Ibuka always going to be a top 24 wide receiver every single week. That's why it makes me nervous. I believe the guys that you should be trading for, you should believe that they're going to be a top 24 wide receiver every single week. Ventro says, would you start Hawkinson or Kincaid for PPR?
Kincaid.
I would start, yeah, Kincaid. Is Cooper Cup a trade target? No.
Nope.
JC says, great call on Torrey Franklin a few weeks ago. Stashed him, and he's going to start the rest of the season, right? Let's see. Mary, SoCal Cook says Mary, aka Bill, is a flex this week for PPR, of course. Durfboy said, do you think the Packers D worth using Fab for or using Stream against the Panthers rest of the season? No, I think it's worth using money for. You want that defense. That defense is special. It can stop top offenses like they did with Detroit. We still starting Brian Thomas, Jimmy. Yes, we still starting Brian Thomas. Okay, that's about it. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Oh, wait a minute, Robert. I'm gonna get your question. This is the last one. In my league, we start 4 running backs. I got Brian, A-Chain, Krosky, and Simpson. Lost Aaron Jones, got Marks S on the bench, thinking about picking up Scott as a sleeper. Who is Scott? I don't know who that running back is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry about that. Robert, once the video drop, once we get off the live, go to the comment section on another video and let me know what you're saying right here, and I'll go look up that guy Scott. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Hey, RG, you want to shout out anything, man? Anything you want to talk about before we end this live? Well, I think RG's gone already. All right, guys. Listen, well, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all guys be safe.